My favourite bike thing of 2020 was the Specialized Diverge gravel bike. I've been running a Specialized Roubaix Expert as a long-termer this year, and I have written great long essays about how much I love that bike and made an excellent video which you should definitely watch. But it was actually the Diverge that I think got me most excited. My colleague Jack reviewed the Comp Carbon more everyman spec, but I got to ride the S-Works model because the very nice people at Campagnolo sent me one as a test bed for their new Ekar gravel group set. The Diverge is just an exceptionally good gravel bike. The new model that they launched in 2020 has an updated Future Shock. It's the Future Shock 2.0, so that's the little boingy bit in the headset, and it really takes the bike up a level from most other gravel bikes because it lets you ride comfortably over really rough terrain without being fatigued, essentially. The Future Shock that the Diverge gets is a bit stiffer than the one on the Roubaix, and that means that you get a bit less bob when you're climbing out of the saddle, for example. I think with gravel bikes, it's generally a mistake to regard them as sort of drop bar mountain bikes, because if you try and ride a gravel bike on a mountain bike trail, often you'll just quickly get out of your depth and it's more scary than it is fun. What I think is really impressive about the Diverge is the way that it does all the normal gravel bike stuff and it's really good on the road, but it's also not nearly as scary as a lot of other gravel bikes when you do take it on that more technical terrain. The fact that it can fulfill such a wide range of roles, I think, is really impressive. It's also got some really cool features. I think the in-frame storage that Specialized calls SWAT, where you can put objects inside the down tube, is very, very clever and a thing that I really wish more bikes had, because yes, I know that gravel riders love to drape their bikes in enormous amounts of luggage, but actually putting it inside the frame is a whole lot more elegant. In case you just think I'm a Specialized fanboy, and I do think they make quite good bikes, the Diverge is quite expensive. The S-Works is astronomically expensive. A frame set is £4,000 and a fully kitted out one with a high-end group set can be over 10 grand. This is not a cheap bike. However, I do think it's pretty exceptional amongst gravel bikes. That's why it's my pick for the year.
My favourite bit of cycling tech in 2020 was my Favero Assioma Duo power meter pedals. I've used a number of power meters over the years, but none have quite managed to combine the same level of accuracy, convenience and reliability that the Assioma Duos do. These are now my go-to pedals for every road bike I ride, and they've quickly become a key part of my testing arsenal for benchmarking other power meters and smart trainers. I'll admit, it would be amazing if there was a Shimano SBD-SL compatible version, but the look style cleats are fine, and once you're clipped in, it's all plain sailing. Likewise, the 50-hour battery life sounds a little small on paper, but for me, it just hasn't been an issue, and I rarely have to charge them more than once every couple of months. The fact that they're also one of the cheapest dual-sided power meters currently on the market is the icing on the cake.
My favourite bit of road cycling gear for this year has got to be my DHB Aeron Ultra cycling kit, which includes both the jersey and the shorts. The kit has been specially designed for endurance cycling and has loads of nice little features to help with longer rides. The DHB Aeron Ultra has 5 pockets altogether. You obviously get the 3 large pockets at the back, but you also get one on the left-hand side, which is just as big as the others, and you get a zipped pocket on the right-hand side too. It's got a nice mesh panel at the back, which is particularly good for me because I tend to sweat a lot there, and it helps with breathability. And overall, the kind of material is quite stretchy and soft, so it's nice and comfortable. 2020 will be known for 1 or 2 big events, but it'll be also known for the year of the pockets stitched into bib shorts. They've started to appear in clothing brands lineup since Rafa announced their cargo bib shorts. You might find that pockets in bib shorts is a bit of a gimmick, but I found it super useful for stashing extra snacks in whilst you're riding, and for scale, you can fit 2 naked bars in there. It's also quite handy to put your wrappers in there and stop them from becoming an environmental hazard. I've also found that you can even put a smartphone in that pocket, which is real handy if you want to get that lovely view whilst you're out on your rides without reaching into your back pocket and squashing your bananas in the process. The most important part of any bike shorts is of course the chamois or the pad. The Ultra shorts use a custom designed chamois from Elastic Interface, which are the experts in chamois design. It's obviously a super subjective thing to test, but for me, I found them really, really comfortable. I cycled around 1,000 kilometers in about 7 days in the Transatlantic Way events last year, and I basically lived in these, and I can tell you they are very comfortable. We at BikeRadar are super lucky because we get to test the latest gear, but after 2 years, I can safely say the DHB Aeron Ultra kit is the go-to kit for me for long days in the saddle.
I have some wonderful news to share with you all. In 2020, I met my one true love, and their name is the Pro Stealth Superlight Saddle. I have spent more time with Stealthy in 2020 than just about anybody else. And like any good, supportive partner, they make me feel like I can do anything. Finding the right saddle for you really is the definition of true love. And through years of testing, through just both trial and error and more informed decisions, I finally arrived on the Pro Stealth Superlight as my #1 saddle. Being charitable, the overall shape of the saddle mimics the look of the Specialized Power, which is almost universally liked. And that short-nosed design has been adopted by pretty much every brand on the market. Now, I've tried quite a few of these, but for me, the Pro Stealth definitely comes out on top. I'm now running this saddle across 3 of my different bikes. My Surly Steamroller, my All-City Mr. Pink, and my old bike, my old Genesis Croix de Fer, back home in Scotland. Now I'm running 2 versions of that saddle. I've got the ultralight carbon one on 2 of those bikes, and I've also got the cheaper steel-railed one. All of them are as comfortable as each other, but I will say, if you're looking for a properly dual-light saddle, the carbon one is very nice. Now, I've had torrid affairs with other saddles in the past which have quite literally ended in tears, but I really think me and Stealthy, we're going for the long run.